Today is April 20th, also known as 420, and if you'll take a look at my follower count up there, you'll see that it is 6,962 followers, which means I'm 7 followers away from a very funny number. Now, I've noticed that whenever I post many videos in one day, usually the number's 50, but I'll appear on people's For You page multiple times, and I usually get a boost in followers because of that. So, I'm gonna post 69 videos today in honor of the funny number, just because it's going to be so funny. I'm going to be burnt out, but it's going to be so funny. So please be one of the lucky 7 who follows so that I can post about it. It is currently 12:04 in the morning on April 20th, which means that I have 23 hours and 56 minutes to finish all 69 videos that I wanted to create and upload today. It's gonna be a doozy. I hope to finish them before I upload them. Obviously, one of them is going to be commemorating getting 69 followers. And that one I can't make until I post a few of those, because the reason I'm posting them, so hopefully I'll get more followers. But it's gonna be a doozy. So there's this trend going around where you grab the closest book, turn to page 30, and the first words describe your love life.
I was a teenager 2 months ago, so I'm very curious to see what this makes me look like.
Oh, it just shaved me. That's what I mean. I'll take it. I think I look good. I might use this filter more. Oh yeah. Well, all right. If it weren't for whatever weird shadow things are going up here. The answers to every part of this question are all the same. They're all 30. And to add insult to injury, the bar graph is flipping me off.
Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5.
It's me or the PS5. Tell me which of us is more your type. Seems like you can't decide. So if it's not me, then I'm probably gonna run it over.
You Nintendo don't understand. You can't see how it's wrong to get in an Xboxing match with a machine that plays Pong. I've dealt with people before that have given me this ultimatum. It wasn't a new genesis for our relationship, it just made me hate him. You're trying to make yourself a master system, but I'm killing that switch. I don't care if it takes 2,600 tries. I'll find someone who shares my niche.
What's Gibby thinking about? Tonight the music seems so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd.
Once Justin files those papers, you and Gwen will be free to spend the rest of your lives doing what you do best.
Each other.
Bringing misery.
Oh yeah, that too.
I've heard that Lin-Manuel Miranda is bringing 5 new songs to the Little Mermaid live-action remake, and none of them are gonna matter if the movie doesn't have the best Little Mermaid song, She's in Love, from the stage version soundtrack. Oh my God! I'm so gay! Gay.
Just a couple of playing cards on the ground. Why are there so many playing cards out here?
I'm on question 22, and there are 26 questions total. That means I have 5 questions left, right? Wrong, because question 22 is a 2-parter. Now, question 23 is all on its own, but that does mean that there are technically 3 questions instead of 2, right? Well, you got question 24, which is a 4-parter, and then question 25, which is a 4-parter. And then question 26, which is a 4-parter. All in all, if every individual part is its own question, there's 15 questions left. And yet, it appears as though there are 3 times less. It's bullcrap. He's just a little guy. He's just a little baby, perched on his little box.
The vision of your happiness. Whoa, earth angel, please be mine, my darling dear. Love you all the time. I'm just a fool in love with you.
I am quite the anomaly because my taste is... while also being... Ask me anything. Literally anything. I'm not qualified to answer any of your questions, but ask me anyway. How many slices of bread tall am I? Well, I did say ask me anything. If we look at this video here from my measurement app, you can see that a slice of bread is about 4 inches tall. I am 64.5 inches tall. So if we take out our calculator here and type in 64.5 divided by 4, we get 16.125 slices of bread. So just over 16 slices of bread if you stack them that way. How many apples tall am I? Where are you guys getting these measurements from? Americans will use anything but the metric system to measure things. Anyway, same process like we did with the slices of bread. My measurement app said that this apple is about 2.5 inches tall. So if we take my height of 64.5 inches and divide that by 2.5 inches, we get 25.8 apples, or just about 26 apples. Depends on the microwave, depends on the chapstick. What you're gonna wanna do is find the volume of the microwave, so how much stuff can fit in it. And if you're talking about just the chapstick substance itself, then the volume of the microwave is all you're going to need. But if you're talking about individual chapsticks, then you're going to want to take the mass of a chapstick, and you're going to want to get it as a rectangular prism. If you can't do that, then you're going to want to subtract the empty space that is going to be lost when you put the chapsticks together. And then after that, you just multiply it up to the closest number you can get to the volume of the microwave. And that'll be how many you can get. So when it comes to pork products like sausage and bacon, I find that they're always a little too greasy for my liking. That's just a personal thing. I don't have anything against bacon. But addition to that, I am a video game collector. Love video games. So I'm obviously going to say yes to anything that involves unlimited games. Of course, there's also no games, but there's also unlimited games. So it seems like a pretty easy decision to me. Well, it depends on how the cube is colored. If the material itself is the color, then you're going to want to go to the hardware store and get paint of the color that you want. But if there are stickers, then you do have the option to go online and find stickers, and that should help you with what I assume is a puzzle cube not being the correct color of green. Well, first off, it's octadecahedron, and second off, that shape has more sides than what I've worked with in any math class before. I guess it depends on what you mean by that. I'm currently in my dorm room. Yes, but just keep it between you and me, okay? I don't want anyone else knowing. Why do they call it oven when you of in the cold food, of out hot eat the food? I don't have a clever response to that. I just wanted to say that. I'm running as fast as I can. I'm running. Oh gosh. Oh. I got you. So say you have a set of numbers, also called a data set, and you list those numbers from smallest to largest. The number that is in the middle is the median. If you have an even amount of numbers, then you take the two numbers that are in the middle, add them together, divide that by 2, and that's your median. Mode is the number or numbers that appears the most times in that data set. How do you learn a proper chess opening? Well, I would recommend asking a chess expert because I always just take a pawn and put it 2 spaces forward. I'm a chess novice, sorry to break it to you. I don't know who Michael Bridges is, but let's hope that their all-star chances are as structurally sound as their name implies. Ask me anything. Is it pink? This is a joke. Do not take this seriously! Stop yelling and calm down, please. I don't even know what you're talking about. I did some extensive research, and as far as I know, there is no coefficient of the speed of light, much less half of it. Well, the short answer is no. The long answer is I used to be. And then I realized that I was transgender. And I still like women. I am still very much attracted to anyone who is not a man. So I am gay. In fact, before I figured out that I wasn't just non-binary, but I also had some trans femme stuff going on with me, I was explaining who I was attracted to, and someone said, "Oh, you could have just said you were straight," and I felt gender dysphoria. So I definitely am not straight. Why haven't you watched One Piece yet? I'll tell you why, Ash. It's because, 1, I have a lot of other stuff that I'm watching, like Days of Our Lives, which comes out with 5 new episodes a week. And 2, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. So while I haven't heard a lot of bad things about it, I certainly haven't heard a lot of good things about it either. Also, there's more than 1,000 episodes, which means it would take less time to watch the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe than it would to watch all of One Piece. And I'm already watching the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. My thoughts on the current state of the Overwatch meta are nothing, because I don't play Overwatch. But if I ever do, maybe I'll be Tracer. Unless someone's already Tracer. According to suntrek.org, the sun, which is currently not out there, has a mass of 2 quadrillion kilograms. Well, daft_punk_lover_666, I'm not sure why you're unlovable because I don't know you in real life, but if I had to guess, maybe it has something to do with the fact that you lied about the passing of your rat, or perhaps that you gaslit the people who fixed your car into thinking that your mirror just suddenly fell off after they dealt with your car, even though you hit a pole after you left them. Well, I'm not a coder or a programmer or anything, but I imagine it has something to do with the physical arrangement of the ROM chip itself. I don't understand why I'm getting so many questions about my height, but I guess that's what the people want. According to JourneyNorth.org, talons on adult female eagles are almost 2 inches, so I'll just go with that, 2 inches. And again, I am 64.5 inches tall. So if we divide that by 2, then I am 32.25 or 32.25 or just over 32 eagle claws tall. I had to go back into the lunch hall for this, so I hope you're happy. It's 1 inch. A piece of bread stacked that way, it's 1 inch. I'm 64.5 inches tall. There you go. It would take 64.5 slices of bread in order to be as tall as me. There you go. As far as I know, yes, frogs are real, and we live in a capitalist society, so as far as I know, yes, we can make a breeding ground for them to be industrialized. Baked beans are okay. They're about mid-tier on my bean tier list. Well, that's such a nice thing to ask. I am having a nice day. How about you? L plus ratio plus Walter White status. Walter White status? What does that mean? Why did you say that? Yeah, because you're
a loser, a failure to your whole entire crew. I've seen Walter Jr. handle walkers better than you.
the literal second that I stepped outside of the building I'm in, it starts raining. Like, I looked and I saw, well, I know the clouds are gray, but it's not raining yet. And then when I stepped outside, like, oh, it's not raining yet. And it starts raining, and it's going really hard now, actually. I'm gonna run back. Whenever Days of Our Lives shows the ISA, they use stock footage for the establishing shot, and they use the same stock footage every time, which means that these two people have been talking on this staircase for like 2 days. You don't understand. I am so unbelievably gay. They're gonna rename homosexuality after me. I swear I'm doing my best to stay away from impulse purchases, but look. I just had to. I couldn't help myself. Pixar's new movie Elemental should have a gag where someone's watching an elemental version of Back to the Future, and it's the Earth Angel scene, because ideally one of the characters would be Earth-based. I think that'd be funny. Right, so the Nintendo 64 was technically more powerful than the PlayStation. The PlayStation was 32-bit, the Nintendo 64 was 64-bit, but the PlayStation used CDs, whereas the Nintendo 64 used cartridges. Nintendo chose cartridges because they were harder to pirate the games off of, but Sony chose CDs because they were cheaper to produce and they could hold more information. And those two things are the reason why a lot of developers left Nintendo and went to work on the PlayStation. Games like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid could have been great Nintendo 64 games, but due to the system's lack of space in its cartridges, they had to go to the PlayStation. The Nintendo 64 couldn't even do full motion video. Do you know how embarrassing that was in the 90s? I mean, come on. I find the whole bathroom law situation a little weird. See, it's in response to people who are transgender wanting to use the bathroom that affirms their gender. So, for example, a trans man wants to use the men's room. But if you don't already know someone's trans, how are you going to enforce the law? Are we going to inspect people's genitals right now? A lot of these are for school bathrooms. So that's a whole can of worms that I don't want to open.
Which will receive hate from every corner of the internet.
That's a great video and you should watch it. It's about how the kids in the Harry Potter show that HBO is making are going to get hate from every corner of the internet because the internet is full of people who are going to disagree with it. I think the way they're doing it is great. 1 season per book, 1 episode per chapter, but please do it with literally any other book series because this is going to be a nightmare for everyone involved. It's windy. It's windy, jeez. So my school has pretty big sidewalks on campus, but it's still weird to see just vehicles parked on the sidewalk. Like that's weird to me. It's even weirder when you see them drive onto the sidewalk. It's like, whoa, stay in your lane, literally. Sesame Street has gender fluid characters in the pilot episode, or at least what HBO Max calls the pilot episode from 1969. One of the human characters talks to a family of Muppets called the Anything People. And the Anything People can be anything they want on any given day. And what do they choose to be? Well, the first one chooses to be a little girl, today. The second one chooses to be a little boy, and he becomes her brother. Then there's a mother and a father and an uncle, and it's in that order. And they all specify that that's what they want to be today, or on that day, I suppose. But it really, really hints at them being gender fluid. That seems to be the implication, that on other days they would want to be something else, which I think is cool. Cheez-It duos validate bisexuality. It is somewhat standard in our culture that people are attracted to one gender and one gender only, and it is also somewhat standard in our culture that a packet of snacks will be one flavor throughout, with the one exception that proves the rule of Chex Mix. Cheez-It Duos is a whole line of Cheez-Its that is just two flavors in one box. Similarly, bisexuality and everything under the bisexual umbrella is attraction to multiple genders within one person. So, Cheez-It Duos validates bisexuality. I was in a conversation with a flat earther once, and he told me that one piece of evidence that the earth is flat is that water always has to reach its level, so it can't cling to a sphere because of that. And that made sense to me, but what didn't make sense is that he called it 8th grade physics. Now, of course, he meant that this is a simple concept that someone who has graduated high school, should be able to understand, and I do understand that water has to reach its level. It is 8th grade physics, after all. You know what else is 8th grade physics? Gravity, and the Earth being round. What I'm saying is, if you're going to cite 8th grade physics, maybe think about the fact that it also goes against the flat Earth theory. Food delivery apps are a scam. I wanted to go to Chili's, but I wanted to make sure I had enough money to get what I wanted to order. So I looked at my order on DoorDash, and I had enough money. But when I went to Chili's and I got the bill, it was about $10 less. That's crazy. Deciding which controllers you're going to use with Nintendo Switch involves deciding between pros and cons. I am pleased to announce my collaboration with TikTok user @BumblingLikeABee.
I am in so much distress right now.
Okay, I didn't think my presence was that bad.
And then Misha Collins became the only man in history to ever have to come out as straight.
Fun fact, he's not. Both Markiplier and Eric Trump had to clarify that they were both straight. Markiplier having to do it because he has a lot of male friends and he has a lot of fans who were shipping him with those friends, so he had to clarify that he was in fact straight and not attracted to them. And Eric Trump said something with some confusing language that made it sound like he could have been gay, but also not, but he did have to later clarify that on the news that he was in fact straight, and I think that's funny. I miss hell, but I don't have a song to listen to validate those feelings. What am I to do? Introducing Missing Hell, the only song by Sushi Sushi that validates your feelings of missing hell, available on Apple Music and Spotify. Did you know the NES originally didn't launch with Super Mario Bros.? The original bundle of the Nintendo Entertainment System in the United States of America contained Gyromite and Duck Hunt. See, Nintendo wanted to market their system as a toy rather than as a video game system. So they bundled the thing with games that required things that were more like toys. Rob the Robot and the Zapper. Pretty crazy, huh? Honestly, I'm still disappointed that Walter White never says, "Jesse, we need to cook," in all of Breaking Bad. Not in El Camino, not in Better Call Saul. He never says that sentence. He does express to Jesse the necessity of cooking, but he never says the words, "Jesse, we need to cook," in that order. I do like in the Better Call Saul finale when everyone yells Better Call Saul over and over. That was pretty great. Okay, so I guess I only needed to post one video because I did it. I made it to the funny number in like 15 minutes. The honor of follower number 6,969 by everything that I can tell is at Aja. It took not even half an hour for this to happen. It took about 25 minutes because I posted the first video at 4:20 and then at 4:45 is when I got the number. I still have so many videos I need to post. As I record this, it is now 11:46 p.m. I started uploading at 4:20 p.m. I'm so burnt out, but I have 7,005 followers now. Thank you all so much.